interesting. In the Bible, where it says, "Let there be light," Haydn has the whole chorus and orchestra playing pianissimo, which was the quietest he had. And then it goes to fortissimo. And it's supposed to be this dramatic change. But I would always listen. I sang this with the symphony chorus with the orchestra. And I always remember it's really hard to do that. You always give it away. Everybody would go, and they would always crescendo just before they went to the line. We never could quite surprise them. Here, this example's on 2 pages. So it's in the key of A, tonic to a submediate to a supertonic, nothing special. Turn the page, a flat 7, G natural, going to a 5-4-3 of 5, going to a 1-6-4, going to a 5-7 to a 1. So just the chord progression he's using. He's in the key of A, goes to submediate. Flat 7, and he goes to the 5, 1-6-4. In the key. Exactly, always able to capture Haydn's style. So, kind of an interesting surprise there.
Just keep going.
Creates an interesting chromaticism because that flat 7 then, as soon as you get to the dominant, that flat 7 goes to a regular 7. So you, let me put it in the melody so you can hear it. Let's say subdominant, here's the flat 7, to the dominant, to the tonic. So if I do that flat 7, and I put the flat 7 in the melody, it goes up a half step to the dominant, becomes a B natural, and then the B natural leads up to C. So there's a lot of fun things you can do there. Here's another one. I don't know if have you ever heard a cadence? There's a major key, but the cadence goes something like. It's very interesting cadence because you're in the key of C. You go to an A flat major triad, A flat, C, E flat, to the flat 7. Subtonic to the tonic. Now, what's happening? You're in C major. When I go, you're in C major, but you see A flat, C, E flat. How would you analyze that?
That'd be it.
Change of mode. Yeah, it's a flat 6, change of mode. You're borrowing it perfectly from the minor. So the flat submediate mark on the minor, and then up a step to the flat 6, so you can either flat 7 or 7 change of mode, and then to the tonic. But I don't know, I've heard this in many different pieces, but it always creates this wonderful drama right there. It's a flat 6, and then flat 7, and then you get this, for some reason that tonic, the majorness of it, you're almost expecting minor, and it sounds almost picardy-thirdish, but you can't have a picardy-third in a major key. So it's kind of a little trick of the ear. Anyway, if you happen to be in a major key and you see a major triad built one whole step below tonic, you can analyze it 2 ways. It's flat 7 or just capital 7 with a change of mode, C-O-N. Page 316, figure 11.2. I can sum up in just one sentence. You hardly ever see a minor chord built on the leading tone. That's it. Here in Schumann, he's in the key of E, but in the third measure, he builds a triad on D sharp. It should be D sharp, F sharp, A. It should be diminished. But he puts an A sharp there. It's a minor triad. built on the leading tone. I'm not exactly sure why Ockman is telling us this. It's so rare. I don't know. Why is he telling us this? Would that be change of mode? No, it would still be diminished in a minor key. So, not sure why he should.
That's one sentence rule? You cannot?
You will hardly ever see a minor triad built on a leading tone. Leading tone is supposed to have a diminished triad. So we already talked up on the board about lowering the root and making it major, but here he's saying someone built a minor chord only. Listen to how bad this sounds, by the way. This is why you never hear it. Here's C major. So if we want a 7 diminished, it should sound like this. Now make it minor, it goes. It's so out of place. It just doesn't fit. Schumann, he died in the same asylum. Maybe this was a really late work. I don't know.
Still doesn't fit even if that secondary dominant.
Oh, like a, oh, you're right. It's got a 5. Oh, maybe that's why he's doing it. All right, let's try that. Okay. Oh, okay. But then it's like you're modulating. It almost sounds like you're modulating. But you're right. Didn't see that. He's got the secondary dominant in front of it. And then he goes to, 5/7 of 6, which goes to 6/5/7 of 5 to 5. Okay. So he's going, here's the key. And then you hear this. Come in. He's got a sequence set up. So the bass. Yeah. Okay, it makes sense now. With that little sequence. We cannot have a 5/7 of a diminished chord, can we? You can't have a diminished of a diminished or a 5/7 of a diminished, because then nothing resolves. So now it makes sense. So he sets up this little pattern in his bass, up the 4th. What's he got? Well, from the tritone up a perfect 4th into the 3rd up a perfect 4th to the 2nd up a perfect 4th. All right, he sets up this pattern, and then he can't take it to a diminished chord. So you can't go like this. 5 of 7. This would be 7. So he makes it minor. That you can do. So in this case, all right, you hardly ever see a minor chord built on the 7th scale degree because I say it sounds really awful. In this case, he came up with a pattern. And by the time you hear all those secondary dominant 7ths, you hardly notice that it was built on minor. So Opus 39, no, he wasn't insane by then, so it's all right. That would be a really interesting challenge for a composer, I think, to say, could I write a piece and have a minor chord built on a 7th scale degree and not have the audience get physically ill when they're listening to it? So this is probably one of the best solutions you might come up with. We are, by the way, talking, this is the rocket science of music. Everything we're saying in this chapter is very complex, advanced stuff. So, hold on. Oh good, we're out of time because this next one's going to take me a little while to explain. It's actually fairly, this chromatic movement in the bass is fairly easy to explain and understand. It just takes me a little bit of time to explain it so that it's easy to understand. It's very easy to analyze in a certain way, and the hard part is just recognizing that it's happening when you're looking at music. All right, so Monday we'll try the project. Have a nice day.